Darn thing's almost too slippery. Welcome to my griddle video. Now, I'm going to start off here. I like to make videos that save people money. So, let's get going here. So this is a griddle. It's a family size one. It's 19 by 13 inches or 48 by 33 centimeters. First off, don't get a small griddle unless you're the only person. If you have two people, get a big one, at least this size, because you know, you need a lot of cooking surface. Just trust me on this. Otherwise, everything's going to be all crowded and whatever. So anyways, I feel that I've been a little bit duped here, because this particular unit here says it's by Heritage, and I got this one at Canadian Tire, and they also have one. This is after I came home. I purchased this when I came home. I started looking around, and Bed and Bath and Beyond also has one. It's also the Rock, but theirs says it's by Starfrit. So I'm thinking, and there's a big price difference, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. Going to save you money right off the bat here. The one at Canadian Tire was $40 more than the one at Bed, Bath and Beyond. Now, I couldn't buy the one at Bed, Bath and Beyond because it's not in stock, and it's out of stock online. So, I just did some researching. It's exactly the same size. I don't know if you can see that. The only difference to me, the handles, I actually like the handles better on this other one. And of course it doesn't have the Heritage logo on the, that's a drip tray. We'll get into that in a second once I get it out. So I could have saved myself $40, but you know, I couldn't actually get it. And you know, companies do this nowadays. This way, I can't take this and go over to Canadian Tire and say, hey, the same thing is at the other store for $40 less. They'll say, well, it's not the same. I mean, the handles are different. As far as I can tell, that's all it is. The handles are different. And the reason I feel duped, too, is because this one says Heritage, the Rock. This one, and it doesn't mention anywhere on the box that it's by Starfrit. But we'll get into it. This one is by Starfrit. It's the same thing. It's the same surface. So do some looking around. Don't get duped like me. I didn't save any money, but you will now. You can thank me. Thank you. You're welcome. So let's get into this. Let's get it out of the box and go from there. And then we'll get into the details. Okay, we have it out of the box. What you get, you have the drip tray. I'll show you how to put that in. This is the temperature control unit. Show you how to put that in. So I'll just do that quick. The drip tray just slides in like this. And the temperature control just slides in like that. And you're good to go. But before we get cooking, a few things we have to go over. Just going to take these parts out. If you haven't used one of these before and you just bought it new, there's a few things you need to know. First, you want to wash this surface off with like really hot water and some soap. Don't use anything that's abrasive, like you know, steel wool or any metal utensils on here. So I'm going to just put it in the sink. I'll wash this down. Make sure you don't get water in the electrical connector area. Always have this temperature control unit removed before you wash it. Big bad news if you get this all wet. And one of the reasons I bought this one, the Nonstick Surface on here the claim is that it's 3 times better than standard non-stick surfaces. So it's 3 times the non-stick of a non-stick surface. The nice thing I liked about this one, the surface actually has a small angle that goes down into a channel here, so that the grease will run down into the channel and go into the drip plate. So, you know, make sure you have this in. So I'm gonna go get this cleaned up. Okay, I have the griddle all cleaned up. One thing I wanted you guys to see on the back of it, it's made out of aluminum, and I guess what I find interesting, or a good point, it's almost like a big heat sink on the bottom. So it's made of aluminum, and they have all these added in areas. That's going to distribute the heat, hopefully fairly evenly. So that's a good thing. I kind of like that. So let's get this thing going. I think I'm going to cook up some eggs and maybe a slice of ham on here. So let's get her set up. Step 1, insert the drip plate, or the drip pan, however you want to say it. Step 2, insert the temperature control. Do not plug it in yet. We've got more things to do. Step 3, before you plug in your griddle or heat it up, put a little bit of oil on. I often use olive oil. Just put some on there, spread it around. Make sure the surface is all coated. Looks good. So we can plug it in. Since we're just going to do some eggs and maybe I think I'm going to do a slice of ham here. We're just going to heat it up to 300 should work fine. Alright, so plug in your griddle, and I'm going to adjust the heat. 300 should work fine for eggs, maybe a little bit less, and my ham should do well on there too. So the light's on. When that light goes off, it's heated up. So let's wait for that. So while we're waiting for this to heat up, I went out and I bought a flipper. You cannot use any metal materials on here, like a metal flipper, or don't be having your, you know, a knife and a fork and cutting on these. You're gonna destroy it if you do that. Like, just don't do that. You have to use plastic on them or silicone. I did pick up this flipper. It's called an OXO, I don't know. But anyways, it's stainless steel, and it has a silicone coating on it. It has a really nice edge on it. So I picked this one up at Bed and Bath Beyond. It wasn't very expensive, so I'm going to give it a try. I normally always cook on stainless steel, so we'll give this a go. I don't know how durable it is or how long it's going to last, but all I know is don't be using any metal things on there. Just don't do it. You'll ruin it. So, alright, I'm going to get this labeling off of here and get it ready. And again, while we're waiting, let's just go through some of the points here. So basically, you're going to heat this up, cook your stuff, and it's going to require cleaning. Again, don't use anything abrasive. Don't clean it until it's all completely cooled down. Don't suddenly put cold water on it at any point. You have to let it cool down, or else you're going to warp it, probably going to wreck it. So basically, let it cool down, and then again, just go through the steps. Remove the drip plate, remove the temperature control. You know, angle it in the sink so you're not going to get water into the control unit here. You don't want to do that. And just, you know, use a sponge or a cloth or something. Wipe it all down. I don't know, that's pretty much it. It's not that complicated. So I hope you like these pointers so far. But I'm just waiting for it to heat up and we'll get going. Oh, P.S. One of the things it says is to make sure that it's on a surface that can handle some heat, because it's probably going to get hot underneath this thing. I don't think you probably want to have this on any laminate, or find some sort of board or a surface. I'm using my stove here. It's a glass top stove, so it'll be fine. But yeah, be conscious of that. You don't want to damage any of your counters or whatever. And also what I'm going to do, since I'm on the stove here, I just put a draped small towel over the back there because there'll probably be some splatter, especially if you're cooking a lot of greasy stuff. I just don't want to deal with that, and so I put that there. Preventative maintenance. Alright, it's all heated up. Let's get ready. Okay, my ham slice has been on for about 2 minutes. I like my eggs well done. So let's get the eggs on here. Okay, so we're rocking and rolling here now. Give those eggs a minute on that side. I'll flip them over. I like them cooked. I don't like runny eggs, so I'll probably flip them over in a minute. Flip them over again. Away we'll go. Now's a good time also to add a little bit of pepper if you like pepper. Maybe a little bit of salt if you're into that, maybe not. Oh, that's nice. Darn thing's almost too slippery. Well, it's my first try on this. I'm not used to this. How, it's really non-stick, like, it's crazy. So I'm doing this. This is actually like a, believe it or not, this is like a nighttime snack. Tomorrow I'm going to do up a bunch of pancakes and potatoes. I'll test it out with that too. I'll show you, and well, to you it'll just seem like instantaneous, but that's the plan. I'm going to do some pancakes on here. So stick around, we'll see how it performs. Oh, and of course I've sped up this video in sections because you don't need to sit around watching, literally watching like eggs fry. It's like watching paint dry, just a little different. Okay, I cooked those ones. Let's go over here. There we go. Wow. They flip real nice. Okay, I'm gonna go eat. Bye.